Bilingual web magazine. Dig Tokyo. Language and Education 007. English vocabulary for discussing LGBTQ+ issues. NHK E-Tele SNS Eigojutsu #Pride episode. Aired July 5th, 2018. 1. Prologue. So far on Sekai Hashin SNS Eigojutsu, we've covered a number of socially relevant topics like Me Too, Never Again, and implicit bias. The common element between these is the idea of diversity. Diversity is about acknowledging the wide range of differences between individuals and groups, and striving to build a society or organization where those differences can serve as a competitive edge. Diversity has become sort of a hidden theme of our show. On this episode, we featured a bunch of #Pride tweets. Pride is a word that means self-esteem or sense of achievement. In the case of #Pride, it refers not to some kind of self-development movement or the defunct Japanese mixed martial arts promotional company, but to LGBT pride. In other words, the idea that we should have pride in our sexual orientation. In the US, June is LGBT Pride Month, in commemoration of the Stonewall riots. The rainbow flag is a symbol of LGBT social movements. The 6 colors of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple represent the diversity of the LGBT community. Today, the flag is used not only in the US, but in Japan and all over the world. If you paid especially close attention to the bumpers in between different segments of our show, you might have noticed that our logo had been turned into a rainbow flag. On the show, we only had enough time to cover LGBTQ, but recently this appears to have been expanded to LGBTQIA+. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning, intersex, ally or asexual, and plus refers to any sexual minorities that do not fit into the above categories. 2. English phrases about sexual orientation. The word gay originally meant cheerful, brightly colored, or carefree. In the 17th century, carefree started to mean led astray, and that sense of debauchery eventually came to refer to homosexuality. Generally, until the mid-20th century, gay was mostly used in the sense of cheerful and free. Then, in the 1960s, members of the LGBT community began using the word themselves, and eventually its dominant meaning became homosexual. In the 1960s, the word queer chiefly meant strange and was considered derogatory. Meanwhile, homosexual sounded too clinical, as if it were a disease. At the time, the LGBT community mostly stayed away from these two terms. As we talked about on the show, the Japanese used the term coming out for disclosing one's sexual orientation. But this, on its own, is an incomplete expression. It does not indicate where the person is coming out from. The full English expression is to come out of the closet. This metaphorical closet is a place hidden away from the world or from family. To be in the closet means that you are keeping your sexual orientation hidden or a secret. Of course, the closet is a place where you don't want to be seen by others, so it comes with a certain shame and embarrassment, the feeling that your life is a lie. Also, to reveal a closeted LGBT person's sexual orientation, either to their family or to society at large, is to out someone. There are some other baseball-related euphemistic phrases used to describe someone's sexual orientation. For example, to bat for the other team is another way of saying someone is homosexual. Meanwhile, switch hitter is someone who swings both ways, right-handed and left-handed, someone bisexual. Side note, when I was a kid, people on the playground used gay to mean terribly uncool. People would throw around the term so casually, but looking back, it's clear that kids subconsciously absorb and repeat the words used by the adults and other children around them. Parents should be careful of what they say around children. 3. My wardrobe this week. Summer fabrics. Starting July, it was time to bring in the summer fabrics to spice up my wardrobe for the show. Classic summer fabrics include linen and seersucker. Linen is a type of textile made from the fibers of the flax plant. The Japanese often call this term asa, a character that they use as an umbrella term for both hemp and linen. Compared to cotton, it has a coarser, slightly more rigid texture. Linen textiles are usually thin and very breathable. The fabric doesn't cling to the body, leaving you dry and comfortable in the summer. One disadvantage is that it wrinkles quite easily. Seersucker is a type of cotton fabric that has a crimped or puckered surface. Those crimples facilitate heat dissipation and sweat evaporation to keep the body cool. The fabric is often striped or checkered. The crimpled fabric is also convenient in that it doesn't need to be ironed. Pink candy striped jacket by Azabu Taylor. White linen shirt by Azabu Taylor. Red chinos by Brooks Brothers. Chukka boots by Red Wing. Brown glasses by Zoff. 4. Epilogue. While LGBT Pride Month was not established by the US government, it has been officially recognized by 2 past presidents. Bill Clinton became the first in June of 2000, and later Barack Obama did the same. President Donald Trump, on the other hand, has not officially recognized LGBT Pride Month. Although he has voiced his support for same-sex marriage in the past, with his announcement to ban transgender people from serving in the military, and the ease with which he flip-flops on decisions, many in the LGBTQIA+ community are rightly concerned about the future. Regardless, in a Western society, particularly in the US, the fight lies in not compromising your beliefs and not backing down. American society is a place where only those who stick to their ideals are respected. Someone who flip-flops is not taken seriously and is often derided with scorn. The LGBT movement in the US seems to take 2 steps forward before it is pushed back 1. But society is slowly but surely headed in a direction of greater diversity. If you ask me, it's only a matter of time, which is, of course, no consolation, nor is it an excuse. Still, American society certainly changes at a more rapid pace than Japanese society. Lastly, I'd like to introduce a couple of slogans of the LGBT movement. One is "Born This Way," and the other is "Being gay isn't a choice." These phrases speak volumes about our society and its relationship with the LGBT movement. It's hard to believe that in the 21st century, there are still people who can't wrap their heads around these ideas. Side note, the famous singer and gay icon Lady Gaga released an album in 2011 called Born This Way, which was a massive hit worldwide. The album even won a Golden Disc Award in Japan. Did the lyrics strike a chord with Japanese listeners? I am skeptical. Japanese readers are advised to take another look at the lyrics. Language and Education 007. English vocabulary for discussing LGBTQ+ issues. NHK E-Tele SNS Eigojutsu #Pride episode. Aired July 5th, 2018. www.digtokyo.jp